Hey everyone, welcome back to the Smothered Post-Session Podcast. I'm joined here with Adam, who is playing another primary character, Michael Jakowski, who you could say, after you listen to it and come back to this, is sort of the centerpiece of this entire production.
Yeah, I'd say sort of.
A little bit. He causes some events to happen.
Yeah, maybe. We don't want to give anything away.
Not too much, yeah. But we're here. We just had our first session with Adam, who plays Michael. And of course, I'm joined here again by our wonderful director, Seth Thompson.
I don't know about wonderful, but okay.
Accept my compliment.
All right, I accept that.
And we just wrapped up on this first session. And I definitely, Adam, I would like to, of course, what I've been asking everybody so far is just talking a little bit about your experience so far, your acting experience, and how you feel about your progress with voiceover. You know, when going into it, how you felt about it, you know, what you were excited about, what you were kind of nervous about, and now after your first session, how you feel.
Yeah, well, with voiceover, it's completely new to me because I just graduated high school, and so all I've really had experience with is, you know, high school drama. I took a class, I was in the club, so I've performed before on a stage, but I've never performed without a live audience, and it's definitely a lot different because you don't really have the same reaction. You don't have that fuel, and especially the way with the pandemic going on, it's harder to get together, and so that really affects it. Like, I know with the read-through, it was a lot easier to keep momentum than just going line by line, and it's much harder to keep that momentum going, and so it kind of changes things. Mm-hmm. So going into it, I was really interested with, like, it's something new to me.
Right,
and
the process.
Yeah, I was interested with the process, and I love to see all the equipment because I'm interested in all this stuff. I used to mess with computers, so. But yeah, no, I've definitely learned some things about it that I didn't know going into it, and so I'm glad to have the experience.
We're so happy and thrilled to have you, man.
Yes.
Do you on this other side now, do you feel as though you've discovered new things about your character?
I do. I mean, going into it, I had some ideas. You know, you got to look into it before. You can't go in blind. But the more you do it, the more little things that you find, like things that make a character itself outside of watching you, like ways you can communicate movement and physicality without people seeing it.
Without people seeing it, right.
You can do that with your voice.
Yeah, man.
That's
definitely
been a common theme among these talks.
Absolutely.
We've been talking about
because
that a lot.
The bulk of it is people coming from theatrical productions, stage, and this is I just love the fact how I'm getting all of these. It's similar in some regard, but everybody's obviously has a different experience and different mentality going into it and out of it so far. But I just love this opportunity to, you know, see how people respond to it. And it seems positive overall. I mean, you know, some change is good. And this is a new form of storytelling that myself obviously loves. Mm-hmm. So it's great to bring this to, you know, everybody involved so far and see how, you know, they feel and they respond to it. So, you said you graduated from high school recently, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you going to continue pursuing the arts and storytelling and everything like that onward?
Yes, I am. I'm not majoring in theater or anything like that, but I plan to continue with on-stage theatrical performance. In college, I'm going to Frostburg, so
Nice.
I'd like to continue that there. And I mean, I'm getting a business degree just because, like, even if I got a theater a degree in like musical theater, it's a long shot, you know, like you could get a job as a teacher, but really making it and like making a good living out of something like this, that's hard. And I mean, I think it's the dream for everyone.
It's always a dream.
We would love that, but that's hard. So I'm going to get a business degree, but I want to keep doing this as long as I can just to stay involved.
That's awesome.
I love the community.
Yeah, that's smart.
Have you thought about using the business degree towards something creative, something artistic?
I have before, but you know, it's always just like little spitballs, and I haven't really gotten something.
Like you mentioned, I believe I overheard you talking with Seth during the session about a restaurant.
Yes,
Running a restaurant.
actually I've had this idea for a long time. Have you ever been to a Johnny Rockets?
Yes.
No, I
love
haven't.
Johnny
So
Rockets.
Johnny
dude.
Rockets is like a 1950s style like diner. They do like shakes and burgers and stuff.
Yeah, and the waiters and the waitresses come out and like dance and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. And so I've been there a couple times, and there's a diner that's not old like that, but there's a diner in Smithsburg where I live, and I always thought it would be cool if that diner had that nice, because I love the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. My mom sometimes tells me that I was born a couple decades late, but I would love to have it. It doesn't even need to be franchised like Johnny Rockets, but just one spot where I could really have a wonderful, like a nice environment with nice music, because to me, like, I don't like modern music as much. I like most music, but I really like
you
want to
bring some of that stuff back to the population.
Yeah, because it slips away, and
it does.
And like I think especially like older people would enjoy that. Like,
right, so you're already thinking about target demographics and everything like that, which is cool. And that means that, so that was going to be my question, is dinner theater, you know, if that would have ever been something that you would have pursued, where
that does sound like a great idea,
and theatrics and everything like that. But that sounds a little bit like that alley. I mean, it's a theme where they do perform, not so much theater. Yeah, but there is.
I mean,
music
you could even take
it
that step further. That would be
right.
That would be something really cool. That would bring different people.
You could do some of those like old school, like Elvis, like beach movie type plays. That could be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely set it apart and make it like a place that people are like, hey, there's this place where we want to go. Whereas otherwise, it's like it's a restaurant.
Yeah,
right.
That would definitely boost the interest.
And one of the cool things about the music of that time period back then, because I'm the same way. I love all that stuff, and it just made you feel good. It was a happier feeling to the music as a whole. Yeah,
no matter what the topic is, it's upbeat.
Yeah, and it was just I think that, you know, people come in, if that stuff's playing, you're having a good time, you're getting loose, you're, you know, eating a chili dog. It's a great time. I agree completely with you. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I think you should look into it. Yeah,
absolutely. So in regards to this, going off of that, was voiceover ever something that you'd mentioned that you thought, you know, seeing all the equipment and everything like that was really cool, but I'm curious to know if there was ever anything from voiceover that you had been curious about beforehand.
Well, I've always kind of like, ever since I started acting, like I kind of wanted to do it. My favorite actor, probably Robin Williams, and
it's a very good actor.
I love Aladdin.
Yeah.
And so like I always thought
genie,
like,
man.
Yeah.
Great.
I always thought that it would be fun to be the voice behind a character, like
the voice of a character and whatnot.
You don't see you, but you have that impact, and you have a lot of playroom.
And you have that tool and whatnot. So if somebody who sees it, like a young child or something like that, who has seen it and loves it, and then say their parent says, that person's the voice of so-and-so, and the kid's like, I don't believe that. And then you do it.
Yep.
And then you see this all the time at Disney World and stuff like that. And they just gleam, man. It's just so incredible.
Yep.
You think, oh, that's the voice of this person. So you are this person. It's amazing because the voice is what I always say this so much, and it's one of the reasons why I'm so fascinated in audio production, is that sound is what we respond to the quickest. Yeah. We're visual people. Like by nature, that's our primary way to interact with the world. But evolutionary wise, anything, if it's loud or something like that, it will grab our attention. There's a reason why Siren sounds the way it does. Because it's urgency, something like
Sounds
that.
360, it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious, going forward, how do you feel about this role? Did you have any instances where going through it, after you did it a few times, was there any instance of something clicking, going, oh, that's this character?
Yeah. I am... So I went into it, and I knew which auditioning, I knew who I wanted to be, like which role I wanted. And reading over the script, you know, I was kind of trying to feel it out. But I think there was a point during auditions when I was like starting to like Michael's gonna like explode and he's like starting to freak out.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh crap, this isn't just another kid. This kid's like really
he's got some problems.
He's really rocking.
Yeah.
And
he's coming in hot. Whoa.
Yeah. And so there was a point during auditions, like doing that scene where I was like, I was kind of connecting to that, like this breaking point, like where he's seemingly just like everyone else. And he's not so far lost that he can't talk and he can't like converse normally and be like a different like person with lots of different sides.
Yeah.
But he's definitely got like, no matter what, there's this presence. Like the back of him's like,
if there's a certain button, and if that button's pushed,
yes.
Let's be ominous for a second.
It gets dark.
Things hit the fan. Oh man. Well, that's awesome, man. Is this in terms of storytelling, from a storytelling perspective, is there anything that you've done in the past that's come close to this in other experiences with theatrics or anything like that?
Not exactly, not storytelling. I've done audio work with like sound clips that aren't live that were played of me, but I've never really gotten to do a full story that wasn't live.
Okay. That's really exciting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Man. So what is it about this? If somebody asked you, "Oh, you're a part of this. That's really interesting. I don't know if I have the time to listen to it or anything like that." How would you, since you're going to go for business, I know marketing is a little bit different, but still, how would you, if say this was a part of your business or something like that, why should somebody listen to this?
Well, I'd say like a lot of people, so some people read books, some people binge Netflix, and like everybody has their different kind of entertainment. But I think like, so some people love books because it's all up to their imagination. And
right.
Like you get to put all the pieces together. Then some people are a little lazier and they prefer
spoon feed me my story.
Yes. And they prefer, and then it's also quicker. You watch
right.
Netflix, watching TV. I think that an audio drama is a great middle ground because it's almost like an Audible book. Like it's not fed to you the entire thing, like start to finish. Like you have the dialogue, but you have to imagine the picture. And that gives you almost like a personal twist on it. The story can be a little different for everyone.
You are the voice of Michael, and how you portray that voice, how you present that, everybody will see Michael differently through that voice, and they start building the picture. So there's definitely an essence of it. It harkens back to radio plays. Yeah, that's kind of, I call this the story. I use the term, which I'm sure others have used, dramatic podcast, because it's going to be in a podcast style. But it's a lot more associated with an audio drama or a radio play or something like that. Yeah. But podcasting, as Seth, you and I have mentioned before in dialogue about, podcasting is beautiful because it's that connectivity, it's that personal connection to something, to a story or personality, anything like that, and that radio has. Yeah. But it has the convenience of recorded material. Yeah. So whenever you want, whenever time is convenient for you, you can seek it out and listen to it. Yeah. Which I'm hoping happens for everyone. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
And like we were talking about earlier, I think people as a whole are just more inclined to listen than to do anything else anyway. Like we've been hearing stories as a species since the beginning of the species. You know what I mean? Like we've been talking, we've been communicating that whole time. We've only been reading like on a large scale for like 500 years, really. Like when it comes to actually being like the whole population being able to read language. We've been listening to stories far longer than we've ever been reading. So
it's embedded in our DNA.
I think it's just there for us So I think, I agree. It's a great way to get information and take in a story.
Yeah. And like you said, people saying that they don't have enough time to listen to that. Like you said, it's not quite like a radio broadcast. It's something that if you don't have a lot of time, everybody's got at least 30 minutes in your day. Yeah. 30 minutes you could listen to a little bit at a time. You don't have to do the whole thing. You don't have to binge every show you watch.
You don't have to. Sometimes it's like a fine wine.
Yep. If you just take a little bit at a time, there's always time for a little entertainment.
Yeah. That's very poignant, man. I wish and hope that at people, those watching this and everything like that, those following this or come across this and go, oh, what is this actually about? I sincerely hope that you are able to do that, because I know time, we're inundated by information all the time, constantly, and it's hard sometimes to make time for something. It seems like it is. Some of it is definitely just mentality or the essence of being swamped or burned out, which is another theme that comes up in a lot of these episodes. That is a theme. But I
do you think that putting Michael together, like as you're going, do you think it's a little bit like putting together a puzzle? Do you think we're messing with Lydia?
Hey, Lydia. Hi, Lydia. How's the puzzles? I bet you she's doing one right now as she watches this. It's true. Oh man. Yeah. So all right. Well, we're getting pretty close to time or anything like that. I don't know if there's anything else that you like to add or anything. Seth, if you have any questions?
No. It was great to work with you. I'm glad we finally got a session with you, and it was great to have 3 voices that we could listen to mesh together. And you came very naturally to this, which was awesome because
thank you.
This is such a pivotal character of the whole thing. And so I was super excited, super happy with the work you did in there, and looking forward to the rest of it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I'm sure we're going to have you again as we go throughout this production and do more, have more sessions and conversations and everything like that. Thank you all for watching and or listening to this, whichever you prefer. Please feel free to follow R-Cade Productions at any of the social medias and whatnot, just to stay up to date on when Smothered is available, or if you're really curious about this process, we'll keep talking about it. And until the next time, thank you so much. See you next time.
Bye-bye.